What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Haven't been on this ACEDECK NYX Z1 for quite some time, and it took me a little bit to get a handle of. These trucks seem to be super stiff, and I don't even know how I was riding it before, but I had to get a little something fixed, and I came back out, and as you can see right there, kind of had a little bit of trouble on the heel side even. It's too bad with these Matrix trucks when you get them all dialed in, you've got a good balance of stability and then great carving and then just like super fun flowy feel, and then you take some time off from the board, you come back and the thing is just so rigid that you put all your weight into toe or heel side and the thing just does not want to turn at all, and then it just kind of makes it more difficult when you're trying to really just cruise around. And I was finding out to put my front heel way off the deck and then constantly moving my foot around just to do small micro turns. And while this might not be too big of a deal normally to just adjust your trucks, the thing is with these Matrix trucks is every time you loosen them up, that you need to reapply some Loctite so that way these screws don't just self-exit and then you lose a bushing. I mean, these screws do not like to hold themselves in, so every time you make these small adjustments, you're taking a risk of actually losing those set screws within the bushing. Another thing that everyone might need to be aware of is within the gear drive, there is a small bearing that's on the metal shaft that connects with the plastic gear, which that bearing underneath the metal part can actually disintegrate, and mine kind of got beat up quite a bit and it wasn't allowing the back right wheel to really flow or just smoothly rotate. So I had to wait a little bit to get that new bearing, and I had to use a torch to pretty much heat it up enough to actually get it out of that gear drive casing. But after getting that fixed, I was back out on the road, everything ran super smooth, and even all the way up this 1,100 foot climb, I still got to the top and I had just used 30% battery, which is really incredible. This board with its 1300 kilowatt battery pack and its lightweight really can go the major distance. The one drawback about this is these tires, when they say to go up to 50 psi and it's super cold and you're going over pretty big cracks, you are gonna get pounded. I mean, I came up to the top of this mountain and these cracks were just really throwing me for a loop. I had to really kind of just do little hops over them because these things just kind of crashed into the cracks and then bounced right back out the other side. So I think next time I would definitely want to go to around 34 psi instead of their recommended 58 or 60, which is just ridiculous. Especially if you're coming from a board like the Aris X1 with the Hoda tubeless tires, which you can run 30 psi, and the cushion grip tape is just such a much smoother ride, whereas this mountain board should technically be even smoother than that, which is designed more for the street. Just a few thoughts if you're thinking about buying this board and riding it majority on the street, is getting those trucks kind of set up for the temperature perhaps, because these bushings might get pretty firm when the temperature drops, and also just making sure that you always carry around Loctite with you. And perhaps consider buying those Hoda tubeless tires, which can make a huge difference. And I think you have a lot more fun and just better grip even. And when we're on these boards and we're riding on the street upwards of 25-30 miles an hour, the risk of crashing over some of these cracks is really catastrophic. And just keeping safety in mind is the first key to overall longevity in this sport. And this is coming from a person that doesn't change really anything from what the factory does, because I figure I just spent a ton of money, and then when I buy a board, I gotta go spend another couple $100 buying new tires or new bushings or whatever. I'm just not really that type of person. I figure it should become optimized from the factory, but I think from now on I'm going to be kind of trying to just optimize some of these boards to fit my style of riding and the terrain I'm on. The Stella S1, which I put rubber wheels on, completely changed the whole way that board ran. And I just had a lot more fun. And I think just for myself, this year I'm going to try to be a little more open-minded to just changing things around and really trying to customize it to me. So it's a bit different than my normal way of thinking. But you know what? New year, maybe new me. eSkates is probably more about the journey than the destination, so if you have any thoughts, concerns, or ideas on how to make that perfect electric skateboard, please leave them in the comment box. I'm sure myself and many others will enjoy it and help us all create that perfect ride.